In 1920s America, known as the Jazz Age, the Golden 20s, or the Roaring 20s. The nightmare that was the Wall Street crash of October 29th was inconceivable right up until it happened. The Jazz Age was a post-World War I movement in the 1920s from which jazz music and dance emerged. Although the era ended with the beginning of the Great Depression, in the 1930s, jazz has lived on in American pop culture. The birth of jazz music is often accredited to African Americans, but both Black and white Americans alike are responsible for its immense rise in popularity. The rise of jazz coincided with the rise of radio broadcast and recording technology, with the most popular radio show being Powder Palms concert and big band jazz performances. Female musicians such as Bessie Smith and Billie Holiday emerged during this period of post-war equality and free sexuality, paving the way for future female artists. Bessie Smith gained a lot of attention because she was Black, but not only that, she was one of the greatest singers, also with another singer that goes by the name Billie Holiday. They both were recognized and respected as successful artists throughout the music industry. There are also female musicians called flappers. Flappers were northern, urban, single young middle-class women. Many held steady jobs in the changing America. They dressed in feathered hats, beaded necklaces, bows, and flapper dressing. Flapper went without men looking after them, went to all-night parties, and drove motor cars and smoked in public places. 1925, the Jazz Age was in full swing. That year, Louis Armstrong and Duke Ellington made their first recordings. A beautiful woman that goes by the name Dorothy Dandridge was a famous musician. She was born November 9, 1922 in Cleveland, Ohio. She sang at the Harlem Cotton Club and Apollo Theater and became the first African American woman to be nominated for an Academy Award for Best Actress. Ms. Dandridge moved to Los Angeles, California with the family in 1930s, searching for fame. She found some success with her musical trio entitled The Dandridge Sisters, starring Dorothy herself, Vivian, and Edna Jones. They performed with Jimmy Lunceford Orchestra and Cab Calloway. The Dandridge Sisters even played gigs at the famous Cotton Club in Harlem. As an African-American singer, Dorothy Dandridge confronted early on the segregation and racism of the entertainment industry. The Scopes Trial was a signature event of the Jazz Age. The Scopes Trial took place in a little town in the South for the roar of the metropolis. The excess of the Jazz Age came tumbling down with the stock market crash of 1929. Everyone that lived in it had been forever changed. The Jazz Age was wicked and monstrous. This story was brought to you by Jalissa Peoples and Edric Holloway.